Let's take you to the story now about President Cyril Ramaphosa being amongst the first to receive the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. He and Health Minister Zweli Mkhize will join healthcare workers to get the jab at Khayelitsha in Cape Town at around midday in about 10 minutes' time. We're joined on the line now by our colleague Vanessa Poonah, who is in Khayelitsha. Very good day to you, Vanessa. Just in terms of anticipation, what can you tell us? Where are you? What is happening? Has the president arrived?
Yes, a very warm afternoon to you. And the time has been set down for 12 o'clock this afternoon in order for the first vaccinations to take place here at the Khayelitsha District Hospital. I do know, and I can tell you that at this stage, two sites have been set up, one in a sort of quad area outside, the other inside the actual vaccination room where that will be taking place. The president, of course, with Dr. Zweli Mkhize and the first healthcare workers that will receive their jabs. Of course, anticipation is building up. And as you can imagine, a large media contingent have already descended here on the hospital. Limited numbers of media staff are allowed into the vaccination center. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you'll be receiving some footage there from our camera colleague, Mark Mullenberg, who's only been allowed inside that room. Only at this stage, still photographers and a certain number of video camera people are allowed in that area. I can tell you that there is anticipation of the president's arrival, as well as that of the health minister. And of course, after the actual vaccination process, we expect that there will be a briefing taking place here at the Khayelitsha District Hospital. We understand from the presidency that also there are other sites, including the Fortescue Hospital here in the Western Cape, where vaccinations are also due to take place. But of course, more information on that will come to light once we've spoken to the health MEC here in the province. We also know that of the 18,000 vaccines that landed here in the country last night, we are not at this stage yet certain of how many of those vaccines have been allocated to the Western Cape. We do know that when the Western Cape made their vaccination rollout plans known to the media a couple of weeks ago, what they said was that at this stage, the number of healthcare workers here in the province needing to be vaccinated is something like over 105,000. And of course, now with limited number of vaccines as part of the first batch that has been received, we can expect that number to be obviously happening in phases as the next batches arrive in the country.
Vanessa, just to clarify, media is not restricted, it's limited.
Yes, no, it's not restricted, but there are limited numbers. And of course, what we've been told is that the vaccination room or area itself is not big enough to accommodate the large local, national, as well as international media contingent here. So they are allowing limited numbers of cameras as well as still photographers in the actual vaccination center. Reporters at this stage are not allowed in there, which is why I'm doing this interview with you telephonically. And of course, I'm in the hospital foyer at the moment. We're waiting to see when the dignitaries arrive. But an area is currently being swept at the moment in the quad area where the interviews, of course, the post-vaccination interviews will be taking place in a short while.
Vanessa, of course, this event smack on the heels of the presentation of the State of the Province address by Premier Alan Winde. Do we know if the Premier will be accompanying the President there?
No, I can tell you that at this moment, my understanding is that Premier Alan Winde is actually out in Genadendal at the moment today, where he's delivering the State of the Province address. You all know that Premier Winde has made no bones about the fact that his government here in the Western Cape will also do all they can to secure additional vaccines for the province, which of course will boost the national numbers. I'm not quite certain whether he's already begun or completed his address, State of the Province address, which of course is also being done virtually in the chamber here in the provincial legislature and of course from a school in the Genadendal area. But I do expect that he would have touched on the province's progress so far in securing those additional vaccines, which is something that he's been adamant about over the past couple of months, saying that this will supplement national government's efforts to get as many people as possible, especially in the first phase, healthcare workers immunized and to have the jabs done as soon as possible.
Vanessa, our question of the day to our viewers is if they're optimistic about these developments. Can you give us a sense of occasion where you are or in the Western Cape as a whole? Is there some sense of excitement about these developments?
There've been some mixed reactions, and of course, one can always just gauge, firstly, by social media, where of course people are making their views known quite strongly. A lot of people are saying that, this is a big hoo-ha over just 80,000 vaccines. Of course, to the healthcare workers and those that have worked to get these vaccines, they are looking forward to the process that will kickstart the real fight against COVID-19. I can tell you that I need to still confirm with the Western Cape Health Department in terms of the numbers of healthcare workers that have actually registered already at this point. I can't give that figure. I understand that nationally the figure was something like 30% the last time I checked in terms of the national number of healthcare workers that actually had registered already to receive this vaccine. And if those figures are anything to go by, one can gauge sort of what it would look like in terms of the general population. Of course, lots of questions still around the vaccines, given the fact that the debacle around AstraZeneca, when we understood a couple of weeks ago that, of course, now it will be put on hold. And yes, so the question really is, and I think all eyes, the focus would be today on the first healthcare workers here at Khayelitsha, getting the jab, as well as the health minister and, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa, who will be here as well in a short while.
We have been reporting on the Twitter thread that the President Cyril Ramaphosa, has put out about this event. But he also says that beyond him and the health minister, there will also be leading government leaders and MECs who will also be amongst the first to be taking the jabs. Do we know who these senior government officials are?
At this point, I can't tell you who these senior government officials are, but I do know that according to the statement sent out by the President here a short while ago, also saying that government and all the government representatives will work hard to dispel any myths around the vaccine and also to encourage people then to be vaccinated. I don't have those exact names as you asked me just now, but I can tell you that it will be a concerted and coordinated effort to make sure that there are no more myths around the COVID-19 vaccine, and also to ensure that people actually do register to be vaccinated in due course.
Vanessa, thank you so much there for setting the scene for us. I'm sure the entire nation is looking forward to this eventuality where we'll get some sense of assurance that the vaccine is safe if the people at the helm are right in front of the queue to take these vaccines. Thank you so much for watching for the past 3 hours. Till next time, it's a goodbye from us.